What a fun Sunday afternoon watching college basketball. Horton. J.R. Raymond all over him, and then Pfizer goes out to try to help. Plenty of time in the shot clock, but he is going to be called for an offensive foul. And Nahara with a little conversation with him and a little pop to the elbow.
A little love tap coming back down the floor. A little emotion.
Now the interesting thing right here, and that's more acting than anything, but the interesting thing is the next foul on either one of these guys could change this game considerably.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, and neither right now Pfizer not matching up against Nahara, which he hasn't really on his defensive end. Stevie Johnson has done that.
Price, his three won't go. Nice job of hustle inside, and then Oklahoma has it taken away.
And if Haywood comes up with that ball, Pfizer's at the rim. Haywood could go up strong, see if he could pick up a foul. If not, maybe make a layup.
Stevie Johnson tips it back out to a teammate. Essentially puts a palm down and says, let's calm it down and get another set.
One of the more active players on the floor is always Stevie Johnson. It's his hands involved in a lot of plays maybe he shouldn't be in.
Well, they miss on the switch, and then he misses the putback, or the lay-in, I should say.
Well, smart play because they attacked Nahara, who was matched up against Stevie Johnson. He won't miss many layups, 68% field goal shooter.
Tinsley with the steal off Raymond.
Got lucky there.
Yeah, Heskett was coming right by. The three, not there. Stevie Johnson.
Well, Stevie Johnson, 16 rebounds in the win on Friday against Baylor. 11 more rebounds yesterday against Oklahoma State. Only goes about 6'4".
Nurse pulls up, in and out. Very unlucky on that one. That thing did everything but go down. Nahara now with 6 rebounds in the ball game.
Sooners need a bucket. Well, had an open look. Made a tough play.
And Tinsley robs him from behind. We mentioned he had 83 steals coming into this ball game, and I believe he's got 3 on the afternoon.
Second on the team in block shots, and you can see why. The quickness.
You say officially 2 steals for him, 1 in the first half, and now this one just a moment ago.
Now the tough part for the Oklahoma bench was that J.R. Raymond had the open shot. Have to shoot him. Got Michael Nurse wide open weak side.
Pfizer, can you get up with the ball any quicker and to be that size?
That's the thing, the elevation, how quickly and how high he rises.
Pfizer with his first 2 points of the second half. 13 minutes remaining in the championship, and a turnover by Raymond. And I think he's going to go to the bench. Yep.
Well, the patience, we talked about Marcus Pfizer on the double teams. Last year, he would just try to force the issue. This year, patiently kicks it back out, reestablishes himself. The turnaround high, soft touch.
So if you've been watching the entire game, think about this. You've seen him in every facet. You've seen him post up. You've seen him on the fast break. You've seen him take the ball and create off the dribble. And then you see the quick turnaround there in such a velvet touch. He's got it all.
Well, he'll go outside sooner or later and probably shoot a 3. Hit a couple threes Friday in his 38-point performance.
10 points or 10 seconds on the shot clock, I should say. Look at Johnson go sky, and he'll miss it. Price, not there. Nahara, 8th rebound for him, and he'll knock down the putback.
Working hard. Never stops.
State trying to make it a double for their athletic department. The women won the Big 12 championship last night, and the men trying to do it right now is Nahara trying to keep his team in it, but they're down by 17. We'll be right back. Alrighty, championship of the Big 10, the championship of the Big 12 right now. Iowa Iowa State trying to see if they can run off and hide from the Sooners of Oklahoma. 46-29. And look at the matchup so far.
Well, even though the numbers are pretty equal, it hasn't been equal. Nahara has had a tough afternoon against Stevie Johnson, Marcus Fizer. Nobody in an Oklahoma uniform has been able to guard him.
Both players playing with 3 fouls. That shot well short, and Nurse with a reach in is going to be guilty of the foul there.
And Ron, you wonder a little bit about Oklahoma wearing down just a tad. The overtime game and the unbelievable contest they had Friday night against Missouri. All the jump shots this afternoon had been front iron for their jump shooters.
And that's normally a sign of fatigue, isn't it? Price, well, he thought better of taking the shot himself, deals it off to Haywood, who scores.
You can tell Fizer again doesn't want to pick up a personal foul. Let Haywood go to the rim.
See the Cyclones, nope, they're going to bring Stevie Johnson out high for a screen. Will not go back to it.
Wow,
Fizer fouled by Haywood, a chance for a 3-point play.
Ron went back to the exact same play they ran before the timeout when Horton made the turnover. This time the pass a little bit better, has a little more English on it. The same position down low and the powerful finish. Or the turn inside. And again, they ran this play right before the timeout and they threw it out of bounds. Marcus wanted it again.
Watch out, fellas. Watch out. It's coming up. Watch out. Rebound that.
Completes the 3-point play, and now 17 points for the big junior out of Arcadia, Louisiana. And a tournament record in what he has done cumulative for the 3 games they played.
Previous record held by Corey Brewer from Oklahoma City.
Well, Johnson kind of short-armed that one, and then a foul called against the Sooners. Well, Nolan Johnson, and probably this to me is actually a bigger surprise than the fact that J.R. Raymond has disappeared this afternoon. The fact that Nolan Johnson has not been a factor, and he had been the guy since midseason who would come on so strong.
It really has, and averaging about 14 a game the second part of this season. Last week we saw him in Stillwater, had 21, had 21 again against Missouri Friday night, and just has been spectacular on the offensive end. Frustrating afternoon. I do think this Sooner team's a little tired.
6 points for Horton.
But you know, Ron, what Nolan Johnson gives Kelvin Sampson entering the NCAA tournament is another offensive weapon, and he has been the guy that they can go to down the stretch and has produced.
Nolan one of 3 on the day, 2 points, and the Cyclone fans smelling blood. 20-point margin. Way off the mark. Fizer gets the rebound.
Well, just again, solid fundamental defense by Stevie Johnson.
Stevie Johnson trying to cut along the baseline. Brenzai Stone was right there to intercept it and knock it away. Price. Tinsley didn't stay with him, and he gets the easy hoop there.
Understanding Larry Eustace as we do, we'll be pleased with that one.
Well, very quickly, they're going to have a substitution. Number 12, Brandon Hawkins will check in, the freshman out of Fontana, California. Here comes Price.
Yeah, another jump shot on the front iron.
Steve Wellmer right here in front of us, and Horton looked at him and said, no, it was off him, and then he broke into a big smile, and Wellmer said, no, you're not getting me on this one.
Well,
Horton is still laughing.
Steve, one of the better officials that you'll find in this country.
Well, you like to see that instead of the grimace and the gritching. Under 10 minutes to play in this championship. Oklahoma trying to fight its way back, and they're good at doing that. Haywood backs it in and scores. Martin Ranzik off with his warm-up, and he's going to check in. Pfizer, the quick turnaround, too hard, and Heskett with the rebound for the Sooners.
Now Sooners will push, see if they can get any early looks in their offense. They've not been able to this afternoon at all.
Price just a little too hard. Well, Price trying to do his part. He has worked extremely hard. Nurse at the other end pulls up, bounces a couple of times, and the foul won't go. Well, the lead was 20, and as we hit the 9-minute mark, they could cut it right here to a 14-point game. Or down to 12, I should say. 14.
Oh, good block.
Stevie Johnson gets the block, and a timeout called by Oklahoma.
Well, Kelly Newton puts it on the floor, trying to get to the basket. Looks like he has an open avenue, and Stevie Johnson, the senior, blocks it. Good hustle. A timeout made probably before any possession was there, but goes to Oklahoma.
Nahara still on the bench for the Sooners.